Somaliland, a name you won't find on most maps, at least not as an independent country. But for the 5.7 million people living there, independence isn't just a dream, it's their lived reality since 1991. Under President Abdurrahman Mohamed Abdullahi, the territory is now going all in with the United States of America. Access to a military base on the Red Sea and exclusive rights to valuable minerals like lithium in exchange for formal diplomatic recognition. It's an audacious proposition, one that comes at a time when great power competition is reshaping Africa and the Red Sea has become one of the most hotly contested waterways on earth. Let's start with what exactly is on the table. President Abdullahi's pitch is simple on the surface, but loaded with geopolitical consequence. The US gets a prime military location right near the mouth of the Red Sea, and in return, Somaliland gets the one thing it has been denied since declaring independence: formal recognition.
Regarding the current situation of the whole world, Somaliland is located in a very strategic location. It has 850 kilometers of seashore in the Gulf of Aden. Somaliland, Berbera, both the port and the airport has been used previously during the Cold War. One is by Russians and one is by Americans. So you can understand the strategic location of Berbera. And Somaliland, as a country, has become independent on 26 June 1960. But unfortunately, it has chosen to give up its sovereignty to find Greater Somalia and join it with Somalia, who got its independence 5 days later, on 1st July 1960. And again, Somaliland has regained or reclaimed its independence on 18 May 1991. But until 1991, it has not been recognized officially by most of the countries. But all the countries in the world have been dealing with Somaliland as a separate entity. Somaliland is a country, is a democratic nation, which holds elections and gives transfer of power in a democratic way.
This is no ordinary stretch of coastline. It sits within striking distance of al-Mandeb Strait, the narrow passage connecting the Red Sea to Gulf of Aden. Roughly 1/3 of global maritime trade flows through here. In recent months, Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen have been targeting ships linked to Israel, the US and others, disrupting global supply chains and driving up shipping insurance costs. For Washington, the ability to monitor and secure this corridor from Somaliland could be a strategic masterstroke. And this isn't just about military positioning, is it? Not at all. Somaliland is also offering the United States of America a stake in its untapped mineral wealth, including lithium, the white gold metal at the heart of the renewable energy revolution. Somaliland's coastline isn't the only prize on offer. Buried under its rugged terrain are minerals that the modern world now treats like strategic currency, not least lithium, the keystone of batteries that run everything from electric cars to grid storage. So how real is this mineral bonanza, and could it actually change Somaliland's fortunes? Let's dig in. Start with the headline: lithium. In the global race to electrify transport and store renewable power, lithium has gone from obscure rock to a commodity of near historic importance. Demand for lithium-ion batteries has exploded in the last decade, driven by electric vehicles, portable electronics, and utility-scale batteries that stabilize erratic power grids. That means countries with even modest deposits can find themselves suddenly strategic partners for major economies. Somaliland has already granted exploration licenses. Saudi company Kilomars is one name on the record, and geological surveys point to not just lithium but a catalogue of resources: tin, gold, gemstones, gypsum, construction minerals, and industrial clays. In short, a mixed basket that could support both heavy industry and artisanal mining. But raw resources are only the start of the story. The economics of minerals, especially lithium, hinge on three things: scale, processing, and price stability. Scale meaning how much is actually there, processing meaning who refines it, and price stability, well, we know how volatile that can be. If Somaliland's deposits are commercially significant, even modest production could generate annual revenues in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, a meaningful boost to a $7 billion economy. Yet, the real money rarely comes from shipping raw ore. The true value lies downstream, refining raw lithium into battery-grade chemicals, then assembling battery cells and ultimately integrating those cells into finished products like EV packs. Imagine two scenarios. Scenario A, extract and export. Somaliland signs deals to sell ore. Mining firms fly in, extract lithium concentrates, and ship them overseas for refining. The territory receives royalties and a share of profits. That will raise government revenues and create jobs, but it risks Somaliland becoming a simple resource exporter with limited long-term industrial capacity. Scenario B, anchor and industrialize. Somaliland uses foreign investment to build local processing, refineries, chemical plants, perhaps even battery assembly supported by infrastructure upgrades, ports, roads, energy and skill training. Revenues would be far larger, employment deeper, and technology transfer more likely. This path transforms a one-off resource windfall into a decades-long industrial shift. Which path Somaliland follows depends on contract design, investor choice, and governance, and that's where the geopolitics get interesting. Offer lithium access to the US with guarantees around supply, security, and responsible mining, and Somaliland suddenly becomes more than a port. It becomes an element in the Western supply chain strategy to wean off strategic dependence. That's leverage you can trade for recognition, military cooperation, or preferential financing. But there are major risks. Poorly negotiated contracts can leave resource-rich countries impoverished. Environmental damage can destroy grazing lands and groundwater. Artisanal miners can be marginalized, and social conflict can flare. Corruption and weak institutions amplify all these dangers. To protect itself, Somaliland should push a clear checklist: transparent tendering processes, local content clauses that require jobs, training, and procurement, a fair royalty regime, environmental safeguards and community compensation, and a sovereign wealth vehicle to save and stabilize resource revenues for future generations.